Mhm.
Okay, I'll call this town board meeting to order. Everyone will please rise for the pledge and remain standing afterwards. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We had two members of the community pass away since last board meeting. Alan Hackenberg and Pete Nesbitt. We could please have a moment of silence for them and their families. Thank you very much. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to review the bills?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, do we hear a motion then?
I'll make the motion.
Margaret makes a motion, second. George, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Minutes, everybody have a chance to look at the minutes.
There were two corrections that have already been made, just punctuation and number of people on our town board. But both have been corrected.
Any questions? Okay, do I hear a motion to accept them? Both of them? Both sets?
Or
I'll make one.
There's four?
There's four.
Okay, I'm sorry.
a special meeting, 2 public hearings, and 4.
I'll second it.
Okay, who made the motion? Dave? Dave made the motion. Margaret made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Old business, Hemlock Ridge Solar. Other than what I just gave Dale, looks like they're moving ahead insofar as their plans of starting construction. They want to hook up water and end of March, beginning of April, somewhere in there to public water in that area. Anything else?
Just that we've been back and forth on the decommissioning agreement. We sent them comments and they weren't able to turn them around or get back to us before this meeting. We might have that before the meeting on the 29th. But we are working, we've been back and forth on them with that, so that might be.
You have a compliance monitor. Yeah.
We have not identified them, no. Okay, Baird Solar Project. That's up and operating. It might be something to take off the old business chart here.
Did you get paid?
We have not been paid yet.
Are they still arguing the point of when payment starts?
Yes and no. I think they said they would in January. I think, is it still a discussion of like back? Or I don't know. I'm pretty sure they said they were going to start in January.
Yeah, the first payment's supposed to come in January, but it's supposed to be a retro paycheck. And they haven't, as far as I know, given a specific date how far back they're going to give us the payment, starting the payment. But our first payment will be in January, and it seems to me we talked about being a yearly payment with them. Being a small amount, that's why we said a yearly payment.
Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of agreements lately, but I believe that's
Heritage Wind.
So they are, going to ORES again, with modifications. This time they're going to actually be asking to go to the Vesta, 4.5. And, they're working still on sound, they're working on, getting the leaseholders re-signed. That's one of the sticking points, and, making some moves in the, um, wetlands and, using mitigation points. There's some that would go though out of the county, and that I really didn't understand. So that was some things that I brought up that I would like to discuss, um, and talk about. Um, one of the things that I would like to do before leaving office is to make a motion that makes sure that we, have a good engineering firm that can monitor the site and be a compliance monitor. That knows what they're doing. This isn't just a, just a solar fuel, electric, but this is pretty important. This is a lot of the flicker with the sound, with everything that's gonna be going on, with the residents. There's gonna be complaints after. And I think that we need to hire a good engineering monitor team that can monitor that also. So if there is complaints about the amount of flicker, about the board can just turn it over to them and say, here you go. Take it and, dispute it and figure it out. I'll read you the motion that I have as far as engineering, then you guys can discuss it in the discussion if we get a second on it. But, I move that the town board consider at least 3 different engineering firms that have industrial wind construction experience, to hire for construction monitoring on behalf of the town and our residents. The town should decide which of these 3 to hire. According to our home community agreement, community agreement, this expense is covered by Heritage Wind, but they should have no involvement in the hiring. The hiring firm that needs to be able to monitor for noise and shadow flicker, how to monitor, submit complaints, and ensure that our residents are protected. That's, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, everything that you have mentioned there is in the HCA that we would be looking at. It's not, we're not gonna just say, only because Jason's sitting here, we're not gonna say that CPL is gonna be the engineering firm we're gonna hire. We will look at a number of different ones.
Right, but I would like to make a
And
motion
to
that,
cover all those that you're talking about, that's all
Look at
part of
them.
the complaint resolution.
and cover it. I'm just bringing it out that
Yeah.
I'd like to see them being able to monitor rather than the town board.
And I think
That's
Shown in their lap.
I think it should definitely be 100% independent of Heritage Winds too. I mean, they hire their own.
Yeah, we would not agree with
Yeah.
hiring someone out of their office or someone they have direct dealings with.
Yeah.
We want somebody that's local.
Yeah, and I think.
And there are a number of,
Yeah, if we pick 3
firms
and
around
we could,
here.
the town board at that time
There you go.
can
Yeah.
decide out of those 3,
Yeah.
what would be the best for the town.
yep, do
That
an
would-
interview process with them.
That way, like
And the
George
town
said,
attorney can handle a lot of that as
yeah,
well.
that way if there's an issue, this is the person you want to talk to over here.
Yep.
I definitely think that's a good motion.
Well, we don't, what I'm trying to point out is we don't need a motion because we already have it approved in the HCA, the host community agreement. It's all right there. It's all spelled right out.
Yeah, I guess my question for clarification is we get a compliance monitor through the HCA, and it would absolutely be a third party.
Mhm.
So I guess, is it just to like get the process going, hire one, or I
Just to start, to be looking, and I think we should, reach out and see what's available. And that's why I'm saying, have at least 3 that we're looking at, not just, oh, well, this is one available, the closest, that's the one we're gonna go with. It's gonna be tough to find somebody, I think, that has wind turbine construction experience and willing to do the monitoring of the residents too. That's gonna be tough to find.
Well, we could ask an engineer that's sitting here, how tough of a situation is that for an engineering company to be able to cover all those points?
Well, obviously, me as an engineer, me as a resident, either way, I would say you go through the RFP process to hire an engineer. Once you have somebody decided, to me, it's like the clerk of the works, like he's the guy, the local guy here, with an engineering company, you have the knowledge and background of that, and he's just your local inspector, if you will, boots on the ground guy, going around, maybe he's got a field office here or whatever, but, that's how I would envision something like that.
Yeah,
He has that knowledge back at wherever his office is, but he would be a local person.
that's what I'm scared, a little bit scared about, is that boots in the ground. I mean, we got every week information about the monitoring the Baird project, and it was pretty much mud in the road and clean up the trash. And this has got to be a lot. More
We're
than-
getting ahead of it here. You got a motion, nobody seconded it, and we're into discussion. Make your motion, somebody second it,
Okay,
then discuss it.
all right. I made the motion.
I'll second it.
Here's the problem. Why didn't you bring it up at the workshop Monday night? Time and again for the last few years, this happens. We had a workshop 2 nights ago. You must have been thinking about it.
No, I wasn't, Kirk, as a matter of fact.
I
You give me a
find it
Bible.
hard to
You
believe. You
give
got
me a Bible out. I did not think about this at all.
Well,
There's one I am, and that I've already brought up before that I'll be bringing up later, and I could have brought that up, but, everybody wanted to get home, so. And it'll be a
Well-
quick one, but I didn't think about this one.
well, you know my feelings. If it's not discussed at the workshop,
So today, if something comes, don't bring it up. Everything.
you know what I'm talking about, George. We
No,
kind of got away
no.
from that last minute. That was 2 years ago.
I don't know that either, but that's okay. What you're
Well-
talking about.
I'm against it.
Okay, so we got a motion.
And you got a second.
And you got a
We're in
second.
the
We're in the
discussion,
discussion.
and as I'm stating, it's all covered already, outlined in the HCA, which you also pointed out. So
Yeah.
it's not like we need to be redundant here and have a resolution saying, we do have to, we being the town, have to start looking for a compliance officer, not just for Heritage Wind, but also for Hemlock Ridge,
Thank you, yeah.
because it's in the HCA for them as well. So that's something that is gonna have to be addressed.
In the agreement, Sean, is because of the 2 different green energy projects, does it have to be 2 different engineering firms?
That's totally up to that town board and the attorney and those project.
Yeah, sorry to jump.
No,
in.
go
Well, I was gonna come to you next, so.
Yeah, I saw you like it turned to me. Not necessarily, if one.
It's not like a conflict of interest or anything to that point.
No, if there's no biases with either project, there's really no reason, and the RFPs are right, and that everyone feels like they can dedicate enough time to both, it'd be questions like that, but as far as on paper, would it be a conflict of interest?
So to your point, as far as it's already in the HCA, I feel like I need to, this is something that is important to me for the protection of the residents. And I think we can,
You're
kind of
saying
set-
the HCA is no good at all,
I'm saying,
because that's not the only component of the HCA.
well, that's something else that I will be bringing up shortly, is the HCA. And how I feel that we should be sending a letter to ORES and possibly, asking, we might want to relook at the HCA with if they're saying we're gonna go down to 124 megawatts, maybe we ought to have the opportunity to look at, increasing our host community agreement, rather than that $12 million loss. But
That'll
again,
be
we're
another
getting-
Pandora's box,
getting
because
ahead.
now you're opening it up, because the school district gets involved now, and you got the county gets involved now, and we got one of the sweetest deals when we got 70%.
Right, sweetest deal, and then they turned around and pulled the rug
That's
out.
not
from
the
under
point.
us.
If we were to renegotiate, we'd be lucky if we get maybe 50%, which is gonna be even less. You don't wanna reopen that negotiation.
Then may not be, okay. it
You
may-
gotta find other avenues.
Yeah, I will discuss it, we'll talk about that. But back on this one, this is where I feel that for me to protect the residents, I'd like to make this motion, make sure that the engineerings are gonna be in place, make sure our residents are gonna be protected with monitoring and from their households, and if they have any, problems with that, and have it set that way. And that's why I'm making the motion. I'm not gonna be able to make the motion from out there. I appreciate Dave seconding it. And any other discussion you can ask for that.
I would like to see it. Bring it as a citizen. We got a new board coming next month. Come and present your case then. This is a last minute deal. I don't like it, George. You should have brought it up Monday night.
I didn't have. Think
Well-
about it. So,
Well, then let's
This-
skip it till next month. That's my opinion.
I'll just say it again, not to be repetitive, but there will be a compliance monitor, like, that is part of the host community agreement, so as Sean said, it is a little redundant to say we want a compliance monitor, cause we already agreed that that's part of the host community agreement that we'll get one, I think.
will that compliance monitor be able to handle home complaints? And be able to monitor flicker and noise from people's homes?
I believe the last two, yes, and the first one,
That was the
I
full
didn't know-
intent when we said we wanted a compliance monitor, was because it took it off the backs of the town board and the highway superintendent, so we weren't getting dragged into every single little nuance with complaints. This compliance monitor would be able to field all of those questions and complaints and pursue answers to everything. That's the whole purpose why we put that into the HCA.
So this will be a second layer of protection
Yes,
for the residents. So again, I move that we make the motion to have the 3 engineers.
On the compliance monitor, if there was something that, let's just say, flicker, and is there any way we can make sure that the compliance monitor understands what that is, and it's not just that's not my department type situation? Make sure-
if we hire a compliance monitor from an engineering firm, they are to have that expertise as well as have fellows around them.
So you're agreeing with us, but we're not gonna be there, Sean. We don't know what.
I know, I'm not gonna be here.
Right,
I'll be
so-
sitting right there and I'll be bitching too.
Yep, so
If
let's
there's
make
a
this
reason
motion,
to
let's make
bitch.
this motion, and then we're set, we can sit there and say, hey, there is a motion, you need to get a good engineer. And we'll have it covered, not only by the home host agreement, but also by what we're saying today.
You three new members out there sitting there understand what I am trying to say here with the HCA, and it'll be part of yours and Margaret's and Kirk's responsibility to get that ball rolling on both energy projects, not just Heritage, and get someone assigned. I don't know, it is possible that you could have the same compliance monitor for both projects, but it might go crazy having the
might
two
be
projects,
overwhelming.
they're
Too
major.
much in-
Overwhelming.
So it would probably behoove that board to take a look at someone for each project. Maybe from the same engineering firm, maybe from two different ones. It depends on their expertise. As George pointed out, he keeps pushing on the Heritage Wind. But someone at Heritage Wind that department might not have as much expertise in solar. So you want to look where you can get the best candidate. That's the charge I'm giving the next town board as of January 1.
Just to reiterate, that's paid by the,
It's paid by that green energy project. Town does not pay for that engineer.
so each HCA for each project hires a engineer,
Yes,
2 people. Well,
you
I'm
can.
talking as a resident.
Well, it was brought up, can you have the same person for both projects? I don't think that's, a
As
good
it-
idea.
As it is, if both of these are going, I'm tied up. I'm depending on my four guys.
Yeah.
To take the ball and roll with what we've been doing for years.
Yeah.
I will have my input with it, but
Yeah, and so will the town
I'm
board.
gonna be,
But you, as well as the town board, don't have the expertise.
Right.
And that's where you count on this other person, this engineer for either project.
And I think that, you know, rather than just go with one, then just get by and the first one that comes along, I think they should do a due diligence and at least interview at least three. And I don't think that's in the host agreement.
Okay,
Hey, Sean,
yes,
I'd just like to say, the townspeople come first, in all of it,
Thank you.
no matter what. So you say 3, I say 5, 10, 15, don't put a number down,
Okay.
because we don't wanna be tied to just 3, when 4 could be, 5 could be good. And don't reiterate, because it just costs us more money, we will make sure the townspeople are first, I promise you that.
You can put it to a vote.
yes, that's what I was just gonna say. If there's no more discussion,
There is,
let's hear a vote. You
there
got
is
something
more
more?
discussion.
I'm listening.
I want to talk this over. I don't like this last minute stuff. And you didn't either, Sean. You didn't like it when there was motions made the last minute.
I know.
Table.
I said the motions, if there were any motions to be made, they had to be done, I can't remember, it was 24 or
Yeah.
48 hours prior to a board meeting and not last minute. I agree with you. I
Last
did
minute.
say that years ago.
I
Okay,
don't know how you want to handle it this month.
I'm gonna put this to a vote right now.
All right, I vote.
And we're gonna, can I please?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Line vote. You ready, Maureen?
Yep.
We'll go right down the line.
Yeah, go ahead.
How about
George,
yes?
Margaret,
No.
Dave.
what's your name? Dave,
Yes.
Kirk,
No.
and I vote no. Okay?
Um,
What I wanted to point out on Heritage, when they sent out from their law office a number of documents today, of which one of them was the road use. I sent it out to existing and new town board members, as well as you, Dale.
I have not looked at it.
Okay. Anyways, and I should have made a copy for you. Ask Lee tomorrow. Make one of the large. I made a large ledger map. All the traffic for that is going to be coming down East Lee Road from the east, coming into the town from that direction. So I made one for the code enforcement officer, so he has it for reference. I gave one to Maureen for the main office if people come in to ask. I posted one on the bulletin board outside my office, and I have one in there for the future supervisor for reference, so he's got it right there. But you should have one over in your office as well. Everything else was just a reiteration of documents. When you look at it, and Steve, I'm sure you're gonna look at it right away, you'll notice that it has T and a number, T standing for tower, 1 through 30. Really, there is not 30 towers going in, there's only 28. And what they did is tower 1 and tower 16. You won't find those numbers on there. They dropped them out, and rather than renumbering all the towers and having to redo a bunch of paperwork, they just dropped those out, X'd them out. Okay, so you start really with tower 2, the tower 15, then tower 17, the tower 30. But in essence, there are only 28 towers.
Still talking about Heritage Wind. With the change to the smaller wind turbine, when they first made the suggestion they were gonna go that way, this board did send a letter to ORES saying that we weren't happy with that. And I think that now that they're making it official in doing it, I think we should send another letter. Something that I'll talk about this too is looking at the different Vestas that they could go with and they did talk about. And I'm not aware of this. They didn't tell me, but I think they told you in one of your emails to Carmen that they couldn't go with the bigger one because they couldn't transmute it because the blade length was too long. They couldn't get transport.
They couldn't get transport is what they said, yes.
Okay, and then the other thing was they had some problems with sound on that.
Mhm.
I looked at the Vesta 156, 6, so that would be 1.5 megawatts more. The blade length is exactly the same as the 150 they're looking at, so that shouldn't be a problem. The sound is less and it produces more energy. I'd like to look into why they can't go with that one. The other thing is, as far as the sound goes, what doesn't make sense to me in looking through their work is the one that they said was too loud was the one it was 104.8 decibels. The one they're proposing to ORES is 107.6 decibels. It's higher. So I don't know how that figures, and I'm getting crickets. But I think that that's something that we should look at, and I think that we should reach out to ORES, because I mean, the whole thing with our wind ordinance, when it was changed, the main reason our wind ordinance was changed was to go with better technology. Correct? And now it looks like we're completely backing up and not going with the best tech. And I don't understand that. I'm thinking, okay, is it because the 4.5 is cheaper and they're gonna make more money? And we're getting screwed? I don't know. That's what, and as far as looking at the host agreement again, if they knew this up front and they were okay with that host agreement, when you said, I remember you saying they'll never go below 180, we're fine. And now we're down to 126. And they knew they were gonna go to this smaller one because it wasn't gonna fit. We need to renegotiate.
We could renegotiate maybe on the type of nasal that is going in. We are not gonna open up Pandora's box to renegotiate cost per megawatt, because we will lose money, guaranteed,
Well, we already lost.
guaranteed.
We've already lost.
You don't know how
27%.
much you're gonna lose.
Maybe the project shouldn't go in then. Okay, let me make my motion then. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, one of the problems with the windmills that they had, wasn't it that they had also having problems with parts and availability at the time, or something to
For
that
the
effect?
large one, Vestas did not guarantee that they could supply those nasals and the components.
What's a
to
nasal
us here.
for the people?
Pretty much they have those in offshore projects, not on land, even though they advertise for on land. But they were saying about transporting and getting the components to like our location here.
So the one I'm proposing or having them look at is the same blade height at a lower sound and more energy.
Well, George, before you go and make a motion, I'll let you know right now that, and you know I've said this many times, I want to see the documentation. Yeah, George,
That's right off the website.
George, you're going to give me a whole 2 minutes to look that over and decide?
I got it highlighted.
You get me copies and I'll take a look at it, but I will not make a decision on something like this when you're just throwing numbers at me right now. You give me a report, you show me what you have, make copies of this for me, I would love it. Okay? Otherwise, no.
All right, so here's your copies. This is right off their website. This is their projects. This is their blade heights and lengths. This is their sound. Okay.
Okay,
Anyways, I really still think that we should do our due diligence for the $12 million loss, just as we did 2 years ago in having a letter written to ORES saying that I moved with the town of Berry, submit a letter to ORES prior to the December 20th, 2025, sharing our concerns financially with the over 27% reduction in nameplate capacity. Additionally, concerned about wetland mitigation credits going outside of the community and increased sound concerns with a smaller turbine and other concerns. One thing that could be added, comparison, like I'm gonna reiterate, the Vesta 156 megawatt has a lower sound than the Vesta 154.5 megawatt and the same length blade. Carmen's email explanation away that seems inconsistent. So that's my motion.
well, as I said, you need to put this information together, put a packet together. The legal team needs to take a look at it as well, so they can advise appropriately. She can't even see that from sitting where she is.
Okay.
Put it together, make a packet, and present it after January 1 to the town board as well as the legal team sitting here. And they can go into a discussion on that.
Or we can, like we did 2 years ago, when they're making the decision, ORES, and looking at this, we can get our comments into them in a timely fashion now for our concerns, just like they were the same as in 2 years ago. That's my motion.
Okay,
I think we gotta wait for a
that's your
second.
motion?
We gotta wait for.
Got a second?
I'll second.
Dave seconds. Once again, George, how do you vote?
And you gotta ask for discussion.
We've been discussing.
Okay,
Any further discussion?
Not for me.
so I guess I have a discussion to ask. What's the difference now if you elect not to send this in to ORES on our concerns? What is the difference between when we agreed to do it 2 years ago? The same thing. Before you guys vote, I'd like to know. If you vote against it, you vote
At
against
that time, we had documentation from Vestas directly saying they could not supply those, the 186s that they were talking about.
the ones that were, yeah.
They could not supply those. So then it was take a look at, and in the HCA, that's what they had proposed in there if they could get the supply from here. That's what Heritage had suggested because it's maximum 200 megawatt project.
So it's exactly.
So what we could do is we could say, okay, you want to do this? Let's tell them they can open up and put more wind turbines in town so we can get closer to the 200 megawatts.
Bless you.
If they could take and get the people who permitted, if the people wanted them and they signed leases and they open it up, yes. And if they could fit them in, they wanted to start with 44.
Yeah, I know, and that was with the short ones like they have down the southern tier.
There wasn't enough wind for the short one.
Oh,
So we kind of always knew we were going to have to go to the higher one. I said that 5 years ago. What happened?
Are all those windmills we're talking about, they the
Okay.
same company,
all the same company, Vestas.
all the same?
Yep,
So there's the one thing. So I
they're
would like-
just different models.
Right.
Yeah, and I will say generally, like, I don't know these specific, I didn't get this before the meeting to like look into it, but there are like a lot of supply issues. There is, like, they're not the only project who says they think they're gonna do one and then they can't get there or they can't get all the material. So it is common to have to change what type, because of supply chain issues that have happened.
Right.
So we asked CoRes, we're saying, we're not happy with the 27% reduction, which we're not. We asked them, maybe to look into the 6. It got on here all the bells and whistles, and it gives us a higher one back. That's all I'm at. It's the same thing we did 2 years ago.
My recommendation is after we vote is, George, if you could put it together, with the documents that you have on the 29th, present it to this board to give to the new board, and you guys can look it over and, put your thoughts on it.
Well,
there is gonna
the
be a-
thing is, you want to have it into ORES now while they're looking at it. they've put it in. It's just like the last time we did something and we were like, too late. You know, and said, nope, we're not, and, oh, well, they never looked at it because we were late on getting it in there.
George, why wouldn't you bring this up to Apex and have somebody here to answer the questions?
That is
That
a
you're
very,
shooting up
very
at.
good, because I don't have a whole lot of time to work on this, and I happened to get through this today. And, you know, just pulling it up. And so I did not have a lot of time to put this together.
That's why we have a workshop, is to discuss it. We could have got somebody here, answered these questions.
I didn't,
You know, it's a
I didn't
last
have,
minute motion.
I didn't have this in my mind 2 nights ago. This is
No.
all fresh material.
Come next month and present it to the board. I'm not saying you got a bad idea there, George,
Thank you.
but
But I don't think it would hurt the
it wouldn't
town,
hurt to let the new board hash it over.
but it wouldn't hurt the town to do the same letter or a similar letter so that ORES knows that we're not happy with the 27%.
Well, the more money we can get from
Yeah.
Harry Glenn, I don't have a problem with for the town. That's the main thing. That's the one thing that we're getting out of this, the whole wind agenda. And there's gonna be a lot of upset people once this all starts. So if we can show that we're at least, increasing, you know, Barry's dollar figures and the school board and everything else, in the long term, it'll go a long way with citizens being happier than having half of what, you know, we were originally told. I would definitely recommend putting it together after the vote and present it to the new board.
Well, we've had a motion, we had a second, we've had discussion. George, you vote.
I vote yes, send the letter.
Margaret, you vote.
No.
Dave, you vote.
I vote yes.
No,
Kirk, no. And I vote no.
I'm gonna send-
Okay. I couldn't hear.
Is Kurt supposed to vote?
He's conflicted.
Oh,
Yeah, he can't vote on here.
oh, okay. Scratch Kirk.
We're supposed to talk.
So now we flip a coin?
It didn't pass because you still would need a quorum, you would need 3 yeses.
And nobody wants to change the vote?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I told you, you present, put it back,
That's true.
Dave.
Okay, so vote to table it till the 29th.
Just make that motion if you
All right,
want.
I think it's gonna be a little late, but do that.
George, how long have we been hashing and rehashing and
No,
rehashing?
I'm talking
this?
about ORES having the information to us. So what,
Now,
amend the main motion to table it, how would we, what would motion? Table it till,
The motion you just said, I make that motion to table it December 29th.
okay, I'll make that motion, the motion I just made, to be tabled to the 29th. I will get more information and maybe even put a letter together.
Is this both of them or just the
Just the
second?
one, just the second, and not the. Yeah, this is just for what the letter to go to ORES, not anything on the engineer.
And Kurt, being conflicted, would that only be on the second one? Or the first one also?
For the first one, too, yeah.
yeah, anything on heritage.
Okay.
Okay, you'll get that for us
Yeah. I will get that.
you're not gonna give it to us on the 29th, are you?
I hope not. but It is.
As I told you, I have to have time to look that over and do my own research.
Just it. I'll tell you what, I'll give it to you just like you have all the agenda and everything, the letters that come in at 4:17 PM when I get in from work.
Yeah, well, do you take a look at when they came to me? Well, take a look at the previous message that I forwarded to you, and you'll see that it's not like they were from a week ago.
Since the motion failed, though, George did make a new motion to table, so. it's sort of
Oh,
second and vote.
yeah. Second for the tabling motion. Table it till the 29th.
Second.
Margaret second. George, how do you vote?
Aye.
Margaret,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
and I'll vote yes as well. And that's just to compose a letter
Yes.
to
Yeah.
Orals
Exactly.
to change or increase
Just to let them know.
the
our
larger
feelings.
nasal.
Yeah, that we would, that we're not happy with the decrease in megawatt.
Okay. Comprehensive plan is not finalized as of yet. Water district,
No, I got it.
okay,
You can do that. No, this is the one that could have talked about at the workshop and it didn't. It's the same that we talked about back in June when I asked that comprehensive has been tabled since June, hasn't moved forward. I asked at that time when we were gonna talk about it to have the workshop and the town board, when in their discussion about it, to have it videoed for the public. And you said we didn't need to do that. You would make sure it was videoed. And I went along with that. That was fine. Now that we're not gonna be here, you're not gonna be here, Dave's not gonna be here. I'm gonna like to make a motion that that workshop is videoed when they discuss the comprehensive plan for the town. And I have a,
we really need a motion
Okay,
for that?
yeah, that's why, because we're not
No,
gonna.
I'm looking at legal,
Okay,
not you.
so. You want me to read the motion so that?
I
you
mean,
can
if
say it
it's gonna be discussed and
in private, in a room with a, yes, no, I would think that this is my motion. I move that when the new comprehensive plan is discussed at the town board workshop, it is recorded and shared on YouTube so that the residents, planning board members, and the comprehensive committee members are able to hear the discussion. Well, the record. For discussion, comprehensive plan committee should be invited to the workshop, or in planning board, where discussion is, and can answer questions for the town board.
Back to legal.
Who is being recorded?
The town board, okay, so,
Sorry.
I know, so let me fill you in what happened. Comprehensive plan has been worked on for about the last year and a half, 2 years. The committee that was brought to citizens put together the comprehensive plan and approved it 100% and sent it out. It then had to, instead of just going to the town board, it had to go to the planning.
Right.
Planning board has looked at it and they have made changes, and with those changes, they're gonna take and put them to the town board. I said when we were gonna have it here, town board, I wanted to make sure that we had it videotaped, our discussion amongst ourselves, so that the public can hear it and the committee members and everybody. Sean made it at that time, said we don't need that. I will make sure that it's, give me my word, it'll be recorded. With myself, Dave, and Sean not gonna be here, I would like to make sure that make this motion that it is officially recorded at that time.
Okay, I understand. Legally, do you need it? No. Does it not necessarily hurt anything? No. Right.
It's better, that's why I would like to have that done and see that it's, open to our residents.
So we were doing that anyways, right, Sean?
Yeah, we're gonna do it anyway, so this way.
But we'll be all gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
that's what he's pointing out, the three of us are gonna be gone.
Yeah,
So
I
I
have a
vote,
majority that said yes, no problem to it.
right.
so I make the motion. You gonna second it?
I have no problem with seconding that. I don't think we really need a motion for it.
Yes, we do, because we're not gonna have any say. This way we will have.
Well, George, in January, you aren't gonna have any say because the new board could decide, no, we don't want it.
Well, at least it's on record.
Yeah,
Well,
that'd be
put it
on
on
record
record.
if they said that.
Here again, one last time. Why don't you bring it up
Okay.
during the workshop?
Because you guys all wanted to go home. And I didn't
Okay.
want to
No.
go.
Okay.
I did know this.
We kept talking, we were just talking about everyday stuff at
Alright.
that time.
Good.
Okay, so we got a motion, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Did you vote?
No, I didn't. But I,
I'm abstaining.
Okay. Kirk's the only one that said no.
You sure on
You're already
Margaret?
doing it.
Margaret,
Well, I know, I wanted that.
she's on the
determined.
fence. We had talked about it
Yeah.
before in our workshop and we said no problem at that time.
that's right.
I can't mark down a shoulder roll.
Well,
Sure.
we got it on video.
Thank you.
Okay, Water District 10, we're still waiting to hear. Got nothing there to report whatsoever.
Again, what was the timeline on that
Yeah.
usually for the grants?
Jason had brought it up before there when we were during the public hearing, because we applied for both Water District 10 as well as for the water tower. And they should,
Right?
I'm sorry?
You guys applied for CDBG?
Yeah. We
Good-
keep
good
hearing
luck.
little, we keep hearing little rumors and we've seen little snippets where we have gotten the majority of the money, but nothing has come to this office. Nothing has gone to Jay, who wrote the grant for us and submitted it. He's got nothing saying so. The law office has not received anything whatsoever, so we've got nothing to say proof positive, yeah, we got the CDBG grant on Water District 10. We've got nothing for the water tower as of yet. So,
Bill Banner Prairie.
we all are. I'm tired of this and I feel sorry for the people out there in Water District 10 area.
Yeah,
But they weren't the only ones this year. A lot of wells went dry this year. Okay, next. New business. Okay, I am going to read the motion for a joint increase and improvement of existing water districts. This has to do with the water tower. Resolution and order after public hearing approving the joint increase and improvement of the facilities of the town's existing water districts. Whereas the town board of the town of Barry in the county of Orleans, New York has pursuant to town law created the town's existing water districts. Whereas the town board has directed CPL, competent engineers, licensed, I like that word, competent.
I like it.
Licensed in New York to prepare a preliminary map plan and report for a water system capital improvements project within the districts. And whereas in August and September of 25, the town approved the joint capital improvements project through the town law proceedings and other resolutions, adopted bond resolution, and here we are doing it again. Whereas the town previously adopted proceedings for the joint increase and improvements of the districts, but due to technical requirement involving publication, the town thought it best to adopt revised proceedings. And whereas the estimated maximum cost of the project and amount of serial bonds authorized has not changed since the adoption of September 10th, 2025 bond resolution. And whereas such water system capital improvements project will generally consist of improvements of the town's existing water districts, such work to include but not be limited to the construction of a new water storage tank and pump station improvements and upgrades to the existing water tank and pump stations, and installation of pressure reducing valve vaults, installation of new telemetry and control systems, and the installation of disinfection byproduct reduction systems on both the existing and new water tanks, as well as other such improvements as more fully identified in such map plan and report referred to above. All of the foregoing to include all necessary site work, equipment, apparatus, and other improvements and costs incidental thereto, and in connection with the financing thereof. Whereas pursuant to the direction of the town, the engineer has completed and filed with the town board such preliminary map plan and report for such joint increase and improvement of facilities to the district, and has estimated the total cost therefore to be an estimated maximum amount of $5,244,850. Said cost to be financed by the issuance of serial bonds of the town in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $5,244,850. Such amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and/or local funds received. And now therefore be it resolved and determined by the town board of the town of Berry, based on the information provided at the public hearing, as follows. Determine that it is in the public interest to increase and improve the facilities of the districts as herein above described and referred to at an estimated maximum cost of $5,244,850. And it is hereby determined that the parcels and lots of the districts shall be benefited by said joint increase and improvement of the facilities of the districts. And it is hereby determined that all parcels and lots benefit by said joint increase and improvement of facilities are included in the districts. And it is hereby ordered that the facilities of the districts shall be so increased and improved, and that the engineer shall prepare plans, specifications, and make a careful estimate of the expense for said joint increase and improvement of the facilities, and with the assistance of the town attorney, prepare a proposed contract for the execution of the work, such which plans and specifications, estimate, and proposed contract shall be presented to the town board as soon as possible. And it is hereby further ordered that the town board shall or may establish water rents as provided in paragraph D of subdivision 3 of the town law, section 198. And it is hereby further ordered that within 10 days after adoption of this resolution and order, the town clerk will record with the clerk of the county of Orleans a copy of this resolution and order certified by the town clerk. I made the resolution. Do I hear a second?
Second.
George seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. Second part of that. It's an amending and restating bond resolution dated December 10th, 2025 of the town board of the town of Berry, Orleans County, New York, amending the bond resolution that was adopted on September 10th, 2025, and authorizing a capital improvements project within the town's existing water districts at an estimated maximum cost of $5,244,850, and authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $5,244,850 of the town pursuant to the local finance law to finance said amount to the offset by any received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the town supervisor. Whereas the town previously adopted proceedings for the joint increase and improvement of the districts, but due to a technical requirement involving publication, the town thought it best to adopt revised proceedings. And whereas the town board now wishes to modify the original bond resolution for the purpose of correcting to a technical requirement involving publication, and to make other modifications in the original bond resolution as may be consistent with laws. And whereas the estimated maximum cost of the project and the amount of serial bonds authorized has not changed since the adoption of the original bond resolution. And whereas the town board now wishes to amend and restate the original bond resolution for the purposes identified above, and to make other modifications to the original bond resolution. The scope of improvements has not materially changed from the project identified in the original bond resolution. So now therefore be it resolved, the town is hereby authorized to undertake a water system capital improvements project that will generally consist of improvements to the town's existing water districts, such work to include but not be limited to the construction of a new water storage tank, pump station improvements, upgrades to the existing water tank, and pump station installation, pressure reducing valve vaults, installation of new telemetry and control system, and the costs incidental thereto and in connection with the financing thereof. The estimated maximum cost of the project is $5,244,850. Nothing in this amendment shall affect the validity of the original September 10th, 2025 bond resolution or any action taken thereunder, and any such actions are hereby ratified. This resolution is effective immediately. I've read the resolution. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Margaret seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Good thing I didn't want to read it again. Okay. Mr. Foot, so takes care of everything we need on the water tower?
Yeah, as long as it gets filed with the clerk, the county clerk, and the public, it gets published, it's published.
We're golden. Go home, have dinner then.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, bond counsel in his packet, yeah, it makes it clear, those are the legal documents they need and everything, Jason just said. Yeah, as long as Ben's direction.
Yeah, he sent another list of what, about 8 items, 7 items that he requested again, and that was with his document yesterday.
Yeah, the minutes of the public hearing, resolution, affidavits of recording the resolution order in the county clerk, copies of the amending bond resolution, affidavits of publication of the estoppel notice.
Which I think once again is redundant because we did all of that 2 months ago.
Yeah, but we had to redo it from the technical.
Only because of a publication? I think it's asinine. I'm sorry. And I think the bond counsel was asinine. I'll go on record saying that.
You just did.
Already.
So we're all, I'm sorry?
You don't wanna know what he said.
We're all set then with the water tower. Okay, moving on then.
Fingers crossed we get some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water District 10. Okay. Final order approving the increase in the cost of the town of Woodbury Water District number 10. What's this, number 3?
Yeah.
Why, what's the matter?
Nothing,
You're looking down the table like
I wanna know what the increased cost is. This is,
there isn't.
okay, thank you.
There isn't. This goes back to what we did 2 times before.
Yeah, it's the same amount we've been working with.
Okay, thank you.
RD needed updated documents, so RDF, updated bond resolutions, which this is essentially the number.
Can we just say that improving the same amount that we? I don't
Yeah,
like the wording.
it's the bond requirements of it all.
All right.
I'm supposed to read every single word because of bond.
I'm not bond counsel.
She goes, "No, not me."
You can do
Yeah.
very little. Whereas the town board of the town of Berry in the county of Orleans, New York, has pursuant to town law created the town of Berry Water District number 10. And whereas in connection with the establishment of district, the town board directed MRB Group PC, competent engineers duly licensed in the state of New York, to prepare a map plan and report for certain water system capital improvements. And whereas the town board has previously adopted various orders and resolutions in furtherance of the project collectively, including a bond resolution. Such bond resolution is adopted on April 14th, 2021, being referred to herein as the original bond resolution, whereas in 23, the town determined that the cost of the project would be increased from $1,101,000 to $2,125,000 due to an increase in the cost of construction materials and labor for the project since the date of adoption of the original bond resolution. Whereas, as stated in the map plan and report, the project has an increased estimated maximum cost of $2,125,000, which amount is to be financed by the application of approximately $1,101,000 of grant money from the United States of America Department of Agriculture, Rural Development Agency, and the issuance of serial bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $1,024,000, such amount to be offset by federal, state, county, and or local funds received. Now therefore be it ordered that the increase in the cost of the district is hereby approved in the town of Barry, known as the Town of Barry Water District Number 10, situated wholly outside of any incorporated village or city, and is bounded and described as follows. The Town of Barry Water District Number 10 and the Town of Barry herein above referred to shall be constructed as set forth in the said order calling the public hearing August 9th, 2023, and the resolution adopted September 13th, 2023, at an estimated amount maximum cost of $2,125,000, and that the plan of financing is the application of approximately $1,101,000 of grant money from rural development and the issuance of serial bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $1,024,000, such amount to be offset by federal, state, county, and or local funds received, and unless paid from other sources or charges. The cost of the water improvement will be paid by the assessment levy and a collection of special assessments from the several lots and parcels of land within the proposed district, which the town board shall determine and specify to be specifically benefited, therefore so much upon from each, as such, be in just proportion to the amount of the benefit conferred upon the same, to pay the principal of and interest on said bonds as the same shall become due and payable except as provided by law, and ordered that within 10 days after adoption of this order, the town clerk shall record with the clerk of the county of Orleans and filed with the Department of Audit and Control in Albany, New York, copies of this order certified by the town clerk. There's the resolution. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Dave seconded.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you just made the motion though?
I made the motion. David second.
Okay, so in this resolution, we were just reading from on page 1, 2, 3, 4. Says please insert legal description.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, please insert legal description.
Where's that coming from?
That would come from the engineering report, I would say,
Where do I get that?
in my office. We can scan it and you can attach.
Edit.
I have 3 different engineering reports on this project since we've been playing with this since 2017.
Okay.
It's outliving me in this position.
Mhm.
Okay. David seconded. All in favor?
I,
Opposed? So carried. Okay. Last of the lengthy ones. Once again, on Water District 10, an amending and restating bond resolution dated December 10th, 2025 of the Town Board of the town of Barry, Orleans County, New York, amending the bond resolution that is adopted on April 14th, 2021, and authorizing a capital improvements project within the town of Barry Water District number 10 in the town, and the construction of improvements herein at an estimated maximum cost of $2,125,000, and authorizing the application of approximately $1,101,000 in grant funds from the USDA. The amount shall not exceed $1,024,000. Such amount of bonds to be offset by an additional federal, state, county, and/or local funds received by the town pursuant to the local finance law to finance said propose, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the town supervisor. Whereas on April 14th, 2021, the town board of the town of Barry, Orleans County, New York, adopted a bond resolution entitled, it was entitled, bond resolution dated April. Okay. Issuing a bond resolution. Whereas the due loan increase in the amount of construction materials and labor for the project since the date of adoption of the original bond resolution, the town board wishes to modify the original bond resolution for the primary purposes of increasing the estimated maximum cost of the project has increased from $1,101,000 to $2,125,000, and B, the amount of serial bonds authorized to be issued from $500,000 to $1,024,000, and to make other modifications to the original bond resolutions may be consistent with laws. Now therefore be resolved, the town board is hereby authorized to undertake a certain capital improvements project generally consisting of the construction and installation of approximately 23,350 linear feet of water main, including land or rights in land, road crossings, furnishings, valves, hydrants, fittings, connections, fill, services, appurtenances, and related site work and other ancillary work, as well as other such improvements as more fully identified in or contemplated by such map, plan, and report prepared in connection with and project, all of the foregoing to include preliminary costs and necessary equipment, apparatus, and other improvements and costs incidental thereto in connection with the financing thereof. The estimated maximum cost of said project is $2,125,000. Nothing in this amendment shall affect the validity of the original April 14th, 2021 bond resolution or any action taken thereunder, and any such actions are hereby ratified. This resolution is effective immediately. There's the resolution. Do I hear a second?
Second.
George, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, as I brought up at the workshop, the new high-speed internet for the county, North Shore Network is the new company that has signed with the county to install their antennas to put this high-speed internet throughout the county. They want to utilize our water tank. I'm getting ahead of myself. I almost said one of our water tanks. To put their antennas on top of it. We do not have numbers from, we want numbers, and the county is pushing they want to know if we intend to allow our water tower, which we do, but we want numbers. We need to look at them. So as a result, our legal team in speaking with the firm have produced this letter of intent, which is that we are willing to negotiate with them, which should take place probably after January 1. So the new board will be taking care of this. But I need to sign a document for the county saying, yes, we are very interested. So, Town of Barry Town Board resolution regarding the letter of intent to negotiate in good faith with North Shore Networks LLC as agent for Orleans County. Whereas North Shore Networks LLC as agent for the Orleans County is requesting to lease space on the Town of Barry's water tank located at 4709 Oak Orchard Road, Albion, New York 14411, and whereas the Town of Barry and North Shore Networks LLC agree to negotiate in good faith the terms of a lease agreement in form and substance reasonably satisfactory to each party, and whereas the letter of intent will serve to evidence the parties' present intentions with respect to a proposed transaction and will only confirm their agreement to negotiate in good faith, and whereas the Town of Barry and North Shore Networks LLC intend to complete negotiations and enter into a lease in the first calendar quarter of 2026. Now, therefore, the town board of the Town of Barry hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute the letter of intent to negotiate in good faith with North Shore Networks LLC on behalf of the Town of Barry. There's the resolution. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Margaret seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. Margaret has completed the audit of the court records that is required every year. The next resolution has to do with our approving those records. So the resolution, audit of court records, Councilwoman Swan, or council person, reported that an audit of all court records have been completed and everything appears to be in order. Supervisor Pogue is making the motion to accept that report given by Councilwoman or person Swan, seconded by
I'll second.
Kirk. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, next. We have a letter of resignation. This was addressed to Tom Keeler, Maureen Beach, and Lee Preston from Mr. Wesley Miller. Please accept this letter as my formal resignation from the Town of Barry Planning Board, effective December 31st, 2025. I have greatly valued the opportunity to serve and contribute on the board. As the co-chair, I truly appreciate the support from each of the members, especially when preparing for and leading meetings. I have gained much knowledge from each of you. Thank you for the privilege of serving our community. Sincerely, Wesley Miller, co-chair, Barry Planning Board. Do I hear a second to accept his letter of resignation?
I'll second.
Kirk, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, last resolution. This was brought up at our workshop. Dale discussed this with us. And rather than coming back and do this when we get to his report, let's do it now under the resolutions. So Dale's proposal. I'm making a motion to authorize Dale Brooks, Highway Superintendent, to declare the Harley Rake Snowplow Wing excess equipment, old truck 309, the 10-wheel dump truck, and old equipment trailer 20-ton interstate that is being replaced as surplus equipment. Seconded by
I'll second.
Dave. Anybody got a question on this? I think it was all explained Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Alright.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. My financials. Expenditures through the end of November on average should equal about 91.67% of the annual budget. Year to date, to the end of November, the town has spent $574,232.41 of the $700,888, or in other words, we have used 81.93%. We're 10% under what the average would be right now. Highway, year to date, should be they have spent $997,638.45 compared to the annual budget of $1,238,204, or 80.57% of the annual budget. So kudos. Highway department and the town were 10% under on the budget. So it was making me nervous because of HVAC that all of a sudden we had to replace, and carpeting we had to replace that we had not budgeted for. So I feel pretty good that we've kept it down. Okay. Highway water report. Dale, anything to add to this?
No, everybody's got the report, right?
They did get 2 new hookups on, Culver Road. I saw trenches there.
One. Kind of like,
And that trailer, the first trailer north of the swamp on the east side. It's like a new
north of
trench,
who?
a new trench there at, B. Palmer's.
Oh, no, yes, he did also, yep. That's what, that list is right here.
Okay.
Did they go dry? Is that why they hooked up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of them did. Yes. There's 2 there. But there was another one that went dry. Besides Angevine Road. But
Right.
there were some that went dry that are out of districts.
Yeah.
And are looking to hook up, but that's what I want to discuss with Jason.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Town clerk. I love your report. You brought in a whole whopping $655 for the town.
Water shut-offs have gone out. People that have not paid yet will be shut off on Monday. And that completes that quarter of water. I'll be receiving tax bills hopefully the beginning of next week. With time to prepare them and mail them out at the end of the month.
I got one announcement I want to piggyback in here on the water, seeing how you brought that up and Dale was talking water. A reminder, we received a letter, the town received the letter, September 26th, and it was also posted in the hub from the village of Albion. They plan on jacking up our water rates. The 1st of 26, the 1st of 27, and on the 1st of 2028 to help pay for their expenses with the water purification system there. So in looking at that, the rate increase, right now we pay $3.57 per thousand to the village, the water. They are going up to $4.28 as of January 21. That's a 71-cent increase per thousand.
January of 26.
January 1st of 2026. That's when that rate is going in. So that means when you do your readings for the first quarter, it will have to show that rate increase. I'm going to put together a letter that I'm going to put on our website to remind people. Like I said, it was on the hub back then in September, but I even forgot about it until I started looking at some stuff and talking with Lee, and all of a sudden this all popped up.
So are we increasing our cost right now at $6 per thousand? Are we increasing that?
Ours, the village is increasing us by 71 cents.
Right,
We will be passing that on to our,
and to the town of Albion.
yes,
So we should be notifying them in writing.
I've already done that with, when I first got the written notice, I scanned it and I sent it to the supervisor in the town of Albion, but I'll do a reminder to Dick as well.
Right, and then if we're increasing our water rate, that'll be by resolution.
We didn't when they increased it once before. When we increased it for our purposes, we did it by resolution. But when it's the village increasing the cost to us, we pass that on. We let the recipients, water people, and water. I've been talking too much tonight. Those that purchase public water from the town, we did not do a resolution to them. That's why I'm saying I'm going to do something on the website, a reminder about the hub. Maybe the letter I do, I better throw into the hub as well. A reminder, the village of Albion is sticking it to us.
Are they planning on another 20% increase each of the following 2 years?
I think this is the biggest jump. The other ones are going to be smaller, like around 50 cents. Yeah, it's still, yeah.
Still.
Oh my.
I don't have the number in front of me.
It's gonna be,
So what is the new rate? We're at $6 right now.
So it will be $6.71.
Can we get away at least from the penny? It's a
$6.75. We'll have to increase it because I'm not going down, because that takes away from our coffers. That adds up. I'm sorry. I know you got to work different with numbers.
Now, does that increase rate go on the bill when it goes out?
It will in the first quarter bill because they already took care of
That's what
right
I
now.
wanna make clear here. You want this with the January bill for water that's been used.
No, I'm sorry. You're right. Because they're going to start charging us as of January 1. So it'll be the end of the first quarter, which would be the second quarter bill that you send out.
But you're gonna put the increase on that second bill, correct? So that people
Yes.
know
Yeah.
that
Yes,
what's going on?
yes.
So starting in the April 1st bill.
Right.
Will
Can you put a
increase.
note on the bill in January saying there'll be an increase on your next bill?
There's really not, we've gone over this before without that postcard. It's so limited on the area that you
Okay.
can type anything in.
Yeah.
so they're gonna do a 20% the first year, about 11.6% the second year, if your numbers are kind of close. Okay, so they'll be up over 3 years, almost 40%.
Getting back to what they
It's
said earlier,
outrageous. Yeah.
do we have to have a resolution to do that since we're just doing a pass-through, basically?
No, the village sets the rate, so if we're just doing the 71 cents, we're just following what they're ordering, then no, if like they just talked about they wanna get away from the penny and they choose, like, I think if you use a different number than the village, then I would say we need to do a resolution.
So if we do go to 75, then we do have to do a
I
resolution,
should say, yeah, because then we're asking for a different
a different
amount.
amount,
Yeah,
even a penny. I mean,
right, yeah,
Well, pennies don't exist anymore.
right, I
So
understand.
why-
what you're saying,
How
yeah.
can they charge that penny?
Yeah, I understand,
They
I'm
don't
just saying
exist.
They show
legally,
the
if we
percentage.
pass through, you don't, but.
so we do need a resolution.
No, because I'm staying with the 71 is what I'm
We're
proposing.
gonna stay with 71?
Yeah.
What were the other 2 years?
11.6.
Wait, that's
That's
guesstimating.
captivating, but, what percentage passes through, water passes through Barry? Our usage versus pass through that we're just
We only use roughly about a quarter.
Yeah, maybe about 25%.
25%?
Yeah. 3/4 goes to the town of Albion.
So if you really, I'm not proposing this, but something you could do is raise the cost passing through to a price where it wouldn't be affected.
I believe
And we
con-
keep
our
ours
contract with the town of Albion
Don't let do that.
prohibits that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not.
It's at
proposing
cost,
it.
isn't it,
It's a-
Dale?
That's called a pass-through
Yeah.
charge, which we are not supposed to do. I
We,
believe.
we discussed that 2 years ago. Bridget O'Toole, myself, Dick Remley, and their town attorney, we sat down. I think you were there too,
It was at their building.
at their building. And we discussed all of this and we came up with, rather than a pass-through fee, we receive a check from them. And what we're looking at is the pass-through fee to help with costs that would be incurred with the water tower, the elevated tank and stuff like that, all the equipment that's attached to it.
So saying that, I think the town of Albion has a pass-through charge to Murray.
They do. And that's why I brought it up at that meeting. But we discussed the other way instead of a pass-through. We collected more that way.
They share all the cost and the
Right.
tower,
50/50.
so.
I just text Lee real quick to see if I can get those other two numbers. Look at your phone, Lee. I know you're listening.
I'll throw it out there. It's something we should probably discuss at the next workshop. Is water rate. You know. We're gonna be up well over $7.
But we can't-
Somewhere else.
Now there's
Well, either that way or this way.
we could go hook in through Clarendon and get Monroe County water. Or we go to the south of Genesee County and get Monroe County water.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
We don't lose money, that's for sure.
Well, I'm afraid.
Monroe County
we
water
might
is
be in
cheaper.
a Solid rock contract.
Oh, just back to the board.
Yeah.
Albion?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, Lee just gave me the letter. Effective January 1, 2026, they're gonna charge us $4.28 per thousand. Effective January 1st, 2027, they will charge us $4.93 per thousand. Effective January 1st, 2028, they will be charging us $5.17 per thousand. Those are some hefty. Smallest one is from 27 to 28. But it's ridiculous. And another reason I think I'll just stay on a well. So those are the rates. Unreal. Okay. So like I said, I just wanted to piggyback it real quick on that. That was something I was going to announce at the end. That's one less thing. Assessor's report. Alexis wrote that I will be prepping exemption renewals to go out next month, and the reassessment is still ongoing and on track. And for those of you that did not know, Alexis won't be with us. We did not renew the contract with the county. As of January 1, Dawn Allen will be our town assessor. But she's up to speed on everything that's going. Code enforcement. Quick update over the last month, I have issued a new permit for a rooftop solar array. as well as one generator permit and a gas stove permit. I have closed out 3 open pole barn permits. Later this week, I will be doing a final inspection and closing out an open permit for a garage addition. I have issued a temporary certificate of occupancy on Culver Road so they can move into the new house. With that being said, it does meet the state requirements for a temporary certificate of occupancy, but they have 6 months to finish what I have requested and have me come back for the final inspection. There are 2 pole barn permits I am reviewing and will be issuing as well. I have made contact and made 2 overdue SUPs pay and get up to date. My in-service training for the year is now complete and I am all set for next year. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Monday night, we had a discussion about letters going out to those residents that have had land separations, about reimbursing the town for legal expenses as per the application identifies. So at this time, Jared and Lee are working on a letter. I don't have my email in front of me, but Lee has found in there somewhere where it's the town board. She found something where the town board would issue that letter. So that's something we're going to have to take a look at as to whether the town board should issue that letter or the code enforcement officer who the application and everything is sent through, which my general feeling is should be the code enforcement officer copying us in as well as legal. And then putting on a specific time frame. I said like 60 days. That's being real generous, I know.
Very.
So, but I'm thinking of some of the residents, not when you're talking about a business. At which point, if they do not comply and pay the legal fees due us, we will then hand it over to our legal department, which should become additional legal fees to pursue in that direction. Okay? Fire company. As you saw today, I forwarded it to you. Josh Gers has been re-elected for another term as fire chief, which I think is fantastic for us. He gave us a full list. I'm not going to read all the calls, but they had 61 calls. Number of them is because of the high winds we experienced. Our guys were busy with those as well. These had 366 responders, 6 responders per call is what it worked out to. And 24 of the 61 were during the workday. 61 calls in 59 days. They were quite busy. But remember, this part of that is because of the high winds, power lines down, trees down, all kinds of stuff like that. Not health related or a fire. This Sunday, I had that down as well. Sunday, Santa Express starts at 9:30 a.m. This Sunday, Santa Express starts at 9:30. We hope to bring some Christmas joy to the residents of Barre. Santa has 30 stops, so it will be a busy day. Tuesday, January 6th at 6 p.m., we will dedicate the new rescue airbags that were purchased with the memorials received from Joe Grabowski. This is open to the public and will be a great tribute to Joe and his dedication to the fire service. As this is the last meeting of 2025, I hope that the relationship between the fire district and the town of Barre is closer than it was 12 months ago, and will continue to strengthen moving forward. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year Respectfully, Joshua Jers, Fire Chief. Okay. Planning Board. Anything from the audience or Kirk?
Well, no meeting. I want to say thanks to Wes for being on the planning board. Did a good job.
Very good job.
Very good.
Not only just on our town planning board, but you were also representative to the county planning board for a number of years. So thank you very much. Zoning board,
No meeting.
no meeting? Oh, thought there was one.
No.
Park, anything new there?
No, it's winning.
Nobody doing donuts out on your new field?
Don't like Ford pickup truck.
I was just gonna say that.
There was, it would have been Kathy, not me. I wouldn't do that. Okay, utilities, anything there?
Nothing new.
Um,
Meters,
What's that?
new meters.
New
They're
meters?
supposed, I made contact with them and, I don't know if you saw that letter or not, you might have been in the hospital.
I don't remember that.
They were trying to make contact with us and I called that number and I said, the meters are outside. All we would like is a notification if they're gonna cut the power, if they're a server and such,
Yeah,
and no, you should be outside.
and then I know they came, knocked on my door. I happened to be home right then to put my new one in, and they said it'll take them all of 10 minutes. Well, my power never went out. I don't know how they do that so quickly without loss of power, but that's what I was expecting. Have them run around and reset clocks and everything.
People never lost power.
Yeah, but I got my new meter just like that. I don't know how many of you noticed the day before Thanksgiving, they had a crane right next door over here, and that new Verizon tower went up one day. Boom, it was up. Now they've had trucks there getting, hooking all the cables up and connections and testing the system. I don't know if it's up and operating as of yet, but the new Verizon tower right next door on Daniel's property over here is up.
Saw that.
Like I said, it was the day before Thanksgiving. Drove by in the morning, nothing. Came back by later in the afternoon there, and boom, there's a tower. Where the hell did that come from? I didn't even know they had brought the sections in.
Want to talk about phone? Cell phone?
No. Okay. Last but not least, our attorney.
I don't really have much to report other than what we've already talked about. I know it's not your last meeting, but I'm pretty sure Bridget O'Toole is gonna be at the last meeting. I guess I could be here, but in case I'm not, I just wanted to say thank you. It was a pleasure working with you all in this board. And for those board members who are gonna be there in 2026, I will not. I'm actually starting a new job in January, so you'll have Bridget O'Toole. Ethan O'Toole is still representing, and Bridget O'Toole will be back to more of the lead on some of the things in planning board. So I just wanted to say it's great to work with you. I'm still here through December. You might see me again, but I think she was going to try to go to that meeting.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you very much. You've been a lot of help. Appreciate it. She decides she's tired of working with Orleans County and she's going back to Monroe County.
It's not no issue at Orleans County, just happened to get a job on her.
Thank you once again, though, Bridget. Appreciate you. Okay.
Sean, before you get to the last part there, the tractor parade this Saturday night,
Yes.
5:30.
5:30 is when it starts. It was in Josh's report that I read. Yes. Starts on Eastbury Road and then we'll turn north onto 98 and culminate at the park. They'll all turn, majority of them will turn into the park right there. And like usual in the past, I've only missed one of them. Santa's out there shaking hands and talking with the kids. We've had a mixture. I mean, from one Christmas, high winds and snow, to another Christmas, I was there in my t-shirt. So, I mean, Christmas parade. So who knows what the weather's gonna be like, but I got a feeling it's gonna be cold this year.
Yeah,
Okay, so once again, this Saturday. Today's the 10th, Thursday's the 11th, Friday's the 12th. Saturday is the lucky number, my favorite number, 13. 5:30 it starts. Town Board end of the year meeting is December 29th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Town Board organizational meeting is January 5th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Town Board workshop is January 12th, 2026 at 5 p.m. Town Board meeting is January 14th, 2026 at 7 p.m. So that's the next few board meetings coming on up right there. So all I got to say to everybody right now is Merry Christmas. Everybody be safe and enjoy the holiday, please. Okay, do I hear a motion to close the meeting?
I'll second.
Kirk, David. All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? So carried. Yep.
Been working.